fire away whenever you're ready.
Kade, just going back to the Texas game, I know a lot of your teammates have talked about just seeing the top of the mountain, but not quite getting, not getting there. So
Yeah.
kind of what impression, Mark, did that game leave with you?
Yeah, obviously hate to lose. We had a goal last year, and that was to, keep playing as long as we could and to finish with a win. But we learned a lot from it. I think that going out with the game that we had, we showed that we can really play with them, and we play with really anybody. And I think that we all believe that, and I think it just kind of drove a lot of momentum in the way we finished the game too, and but just drove a lot of momentum to the off season. And but yeah, I think that kind of what you said is, we got a taste of it, but it's definitely we got a taste of it, but we want some more. So it was good to get that experience for sure, and it'd be great to set up next year.
It's just the Antonio coming back, Blake coming back, some of those guys. Did you play any role in kind of recruiting those guys back? Is there kind of a
I tried my best. Yeah, I tried my best. Obviously, when I announced I was coming back, and just try to get as many guys as we could back. I think that we're gonna have a really special group. I think this is a really tight group that nobody really wanted to leave. I think that deep down nobody really wanted to. So excited to have all of them back, and definitely tried my best to get them. So it worked.
I know you had a decision to go pro or rather come back to Clemson. I guess how much NFL draft feedback did you receive, and how much did it kind of encourage you whether to return to Clemson?
Yeah, I definitely got some feedback, but I think that I knew I wanted to come back. I knew that it was the right decision, and I'm looking forward to this next year. So I'm excited.
Speaking of this next year, you have the returning experience, and you're under Garrett Riley. How so far this spring has that been smooth transition with you guys, just to have all those veterans back with Riley?
Oh yeah, it's big time. I think that since I've been at Clemson, we've always been a young team, especially a really young offense. So to have the veterans that we have, at all positions, it's really special. So, and we kind of got to just go into the offseason, kind of take off where we left. We didn't really have to reset and restart and go back to kind of day one install. We just kind of got to come back and hit the road running, and it was really fun. Kind of being in year 3 now, and we all kind of know what's going on, so it's great.
Kid, is this momentum in the way everybody's talking about you, kind of what you guys felt or what you felt coming into the program, like this is what it's supposed to be for Clemson?
Yeah, I think so. Sure. I think that I don't really like to use the word momentum, because if you're living off the momentum, then the momentum can stop, and like what's going to happen then? You got to keep going. So I try not to just live off, build momentum. I don't really like that term, especially as a team, because if something bad happens or something, is that going to stop the way we perform next? So I just try to go to work every single day, and that's really it. I think that obviously we can use what we learned last year and use the success and the good things that happened from last year, but we just got to keep growing. It's just about just getting better every day, and everybody just being more and more in tune in what we got to do.
I guess when you go back and watch last year, obviously a huge jump from sophomore year to junior year. What are the things that you feel like you can still really improve in, or kind of areas that you're most focused?
Yeah, I would say just, I think that I had a pretty good year last year, but I want to be an elite, and that's consistency every game, every drive, every play. So I have a very high standard for myself, and I want to continue to chase that. And I've got great people that are holding me to that. So I think just, continually making big plays and not forcing them, letting the big plays happen and limiting bad plays and limiting negative plays. That was a big thing that I got better at last year. Just fine-tuning, the automatic plays, I would say. The plays that are, if you got to hit them 80% of the time, hit them 100% of the time, just kind of those stuff. So just, making the routine plays look routine and making the impossible plays most of the time. So as Coach Sweeney likes to say.
Coach Sweeney kind of told us that one thing he wanted you to master is situational awareness. Have you kind of assessed that as one of those areas you want to improve at as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I kind of was thinking that and I forgot to say it. But I think just, watching the games that I played last year and, whether it's just, red zone awareness or whatever, like we did some red zone today. I'm thinking after practice, all right, let's just go watch, every time we started the ball, or not started the ball, but the moment that we entered the red zone, like let's just watch from there and, what's my game like? What's my presence like? Does it change before the red zone, going into the red zone? How does it change going, closer and closer to the goal line? So just knowing that, and it's not just watching the good ones, it's watching the bad ones, because you got to learn from the bad ones. So, you try not to make the same mistakes again. But I would say that's huge, and that's something I definitely took a big jump in, from 2 years ago to last year, and trying to make an even bigger one from last year to this year.
Speaking of the red zone, how can a guy like Tristan help you guys in the red zone with his big frame? And we're hearing good things about his ability to go up and get the ball.
Yeah, man, he's a great ball player. He's a dude that can really do it all. He's a great route runner. He's got great hands. That's probably one of the best things about him. That's really a skill, not just a born talent, a skill that he's developed over his years. He's got really good hands that he'll go make any catch. But yeah, obviously his height is, it's exciting, and just the ability to go up and get a ball, it's definitely fun. So definitely add some new, little kinks in the playbook.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Is with a guy like that, I mean, you got who you had last year, and you're bringing those guys back. But bringing that, was that the final piece maybe for this wide receiving core to kind of get to the level it can get to?
Yeah, I mean, we had, Tristan's a great player. We got 3 dudes that are in there right now. We really got about 6 guys that can, that are really good. So, I would say that, yeah, sure. I mean, he's this, out of those 6 in no order, he's the last guy that we really needed to complete that really great room. So yeah, it's huge. It was a huge addition for us. He's going to be great for us, and I'm really excited.
As Coach Sweeney was talking about Brian Wesco, just physically that he's a little bit different this spring, and maybe can contest some contested balls. I mean, how much have you seen that?
Yeah, just more physical. Brian can make every catch out there, but it's just the high point balls where he's fighting off to the last second, being just stronger. But that's just his work ethic. Is his expectations for himself, similar to me, are very high, probably higher than everybody else's. So he's going to keep getting better and keep getting bigger and stronger, and it's been really fun to see him.
Having more, he missed last spring. He didn't come to the Suns. Having him this spring, how has he kind of been with you guys?
TJ?
Yeah, TJ.
Yeah, I mean, he's just reliable. It's just a guy that you can depend on all the time. I mean, it's fun, man. To have a bunch of guys out there that you can depend on in every one-on-one scenario. It doesn't really matter who's out there right now. I've got full. If I got a one-on-one option with them, like, it's fun. It's exciting, and I haven't really, we've had it in the past, but not to the level that we have it now. We just keep growing on it. So TJ's just, he's elite. He's elite, and he's gonna be great.
What have you seen out of Tyler this spring? Being he had to miss most of last season, is it similar to what you saw with Antonio last year?
Yeah, Tyler looks really good, man. He looks really good. He looks just quick, and his hands are great. He couldn't play. He was on the jugs machine every day. So that's what you got to do. So his hands are really good. He looks twitchy. But yeah, he's definitely taken a jump. He was really good his freshman year, but he's gotten a lot better. That's really exciting, especially coming off the injury he had. Definitely similar to some.
Just how weird is it having Adam Randall in the backfield with you now? So.
Man, he's looking good. It's fun. It's a good time. But he's a great leader. He's a great leader for that room. I think that it's kind of a younger room, and I got a lot of guys looked up to Ship and Will over the past. Ship and Phil over the past few years, and it's great to have a big time leader in there because he's done it. But it's fun. It's fun to kind of use him in different ways, and his work ethic is second to none. So it's exciting. I'm excited.
Coach Wayne was saying he just seems happier now. I mean,
Yeah, he's playing free. Yeah, he's playing free. He just looks like he's going out there having fun. Yeah, I would say that's a great way to put it. He just looks like he's going out there having fun and just excited to play ball.
I think Adam mentioned that one thing he wants to improve on is pass protection out of the backfield.
Mm-hmm.
How have you kind of seen him kind of grow from his first rep at running back to where he is now?
Yeah, absolutely. Even yesterday, like we had a tough look that the defense gave us where they were walking up 7 guys, and just the calms and his calmness and just presence about him. Hey, I'm going here to here, whatever. And just from the first time that he started that, going to the Texas game and to now, it's huge. He's made big leaps, and that's credit to the extra hours that he's put in. Credit to Coach Spiller on getting him right, and really teaching him the way. And that's probably one of the hardest parts is pass pro. So because it's mental and you got to be right. You got to be right because the whole play can be depending on it. So definitely really proud of him, and that whole room is really good. That whole room is great. We got Keith is absolutely balling out. Easy looking good, and got a few guys coming back, so it's gonna be fun.
The Coach Sweeney was talking about the mesh the other day and how that's kind of got to be something that just comes natural to a running back, to where you just do it every day. Have you worked with him to kind of get that muscle memory in there for him?
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely been something that he was definitely new to. I think that any of us would be new to if we've never gone to take a handoff before. So, it's just getting muscle memory and just getting reps and reps and reps. And it'll be, Coach Sweeney said the other day, it's like breathing. Each guy gets to a point where it's just you don't even think about it. So, he's getting there already, and he'll continue to get there. Yeah.
It's one of the things that was kind of hot I saw during spring ball is that Coach Sweeney and you flew back to your church in Texas in the middle of spring ball. How did that work? Was it right after practice?
Yeah. So we spoke at my church's men's night, and it was really cool. We actually, Coach Sweeney's schedule is crazy. So I think we probably put it out in the air about 2 years ago, and we finally did it a couple weeks ago. But yeah, it was awesome. There was. I'm going blank on how many people were there. Maybe over 3,000, something like that. There's I might be wrong. I might need to double check that, but it might have been more. But it was really cool. But yeah, we had meetings. It was on a Tuesday, so we had meetings, and we were able to go out there and fly out there for the night and then come back. But with Reggie Pleasant came and AK and Tracy, so it was really cool. It was probably one of my favorite things I've done. I did not think that during my time at Clemson I would go to Austin twice with Coach Sweeney. That was not in the idea realm whenever I committed. I didn't think that was going to happen. So in a few months space, but it was really fun.
You said
A lot of people got saved, which is amazing.
You said you put it out in the air a couple years ago. So he just randomly mentioned that you.
No, yeah. So my pastor actually went to Clemson, and Brad Thomas, he actually went to Clemson. He's a huge Clemson fan. He's been a really good mentor to me in Austin, at Austin Ridge, and they do a Warrior Night, like a men's Warrior Night every year, and they got Colt McCoy and The Undertaker and a bunch of people that have come and spoke. But this one, it outdid all of them. I think we had 1,200 more men showed up than any other Warrior Night ever. It was really cool. So, but yeah, definitely we brought up the idea probably 2 years ago, and finally made it happen. So.
I heard he spoke for an hour or
Well, he was supposed to speak for about 25 minutes, and then he went for about 50. And then we did a Q&A at the end with me, him, and Espress. So.
Just you talk about the running back room just being young. What have you seen from Gideon Davidson thus far?
Hey, Gideon was good, man. He's smooth. His cuts are, they're elite. His ability to, that first step in acceleration once he gets kind of to the line, it's quick and it's sudden. I didn't play with Travis, but it looks kind of like Travis Etienne. So that's not coming much. That's not saying a lot for me because I didn't play with him. But what I've seen of him, it's cool. He looks really, really good.
Have you seen Lazina kind of step up in this spring so far from the previous season?
Yeah, he's just getting better every year. I think that it's been really fun to see him grow, and it's fun to see athletes and players and yourself just grow as a player. So it's been really fun to see him grow, and I think that he's just taken more and more steps and more strides into being really, really, really good. And he's a really good player. So really proud of him. He's made some huge strides this spring.
And then, any early impressions of Chris Denson so far, and what his addition has been to the quarterback room?
Yeah, it's been great. I love Chris. He's gonna be a really good player, phenomenal athlete. Maybe as fast as me. I'm not sure. We'll have to see whenever some workouts come around. But no, he's a great athlete and got a great arm. But since he got here, his work ethic is that's what you need. When you show up and you don't know anything, you can't just show up acting like you've arrived, and he has not done that. He showed up ready to learn and asking coaches what to do, asking strength what to do, getting extra work, getting extra film, and that's going to pay dividends down the road. So really proud of him and excited for him.
You got the spring game Saturday. It's going to be a little different than in years past, Coach said. It's going to be more of a scrimmage. You kind of like it this way? What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I think it'll be good. I wish never lost a spring game. Pretty proud of that. So I wish there was a game, but I guess if there's not a true keeping score, maybe I don't know how they're doing it, but I think it'll be fun to have my guys out there. At least be running out there with the guys that I've been running out with in spring ball. That'll be awesome, and not having to split up is good. But I'll run out there with whoever. I think I'll just spot the ball and let's go play. That's not really up to me. So just kind of excited to go play football.
Looking forward to being in front of the big crowd again.
Yeah, absolutely. Always excited for that, and excited to get out in front of our fans, and hopefully have a good showing. And looks like it's gonna be great weather, so I'm excited for that. Yeah, I'm pumped.
As a HU, this will probably likely be your last spring game.
Yeah, it's wild. Flies by, man. Flies by. So I'm excited to get out there.
Just general bigger picture, just this being your senior year now. Just have you had that kind of put in the context in your mind that this is kind of the last ride, and how meaningful this season is just for you and everybody else and what it means?
Yeah, just thankful I chose Clemson. I just so thankful that I chose here. I think that it's weird to look at my class of quarterbacks. They're all over the place and they're bouncing around, and no shame on them. It's just guys are bouncing around all over the place, transferring everything, and to be at a place where I didn't even feel pressured that I had to leave, or to get kicked out, or not kicked out, but hey, nobody wants to leave here, and I'm just so thankful I chose here, and that's really what I'm thinking about. And it's tough to be anxious about a season when you're just thankful of where you're at. So I'm just thankful I chose here. That's really it.
Coach Lee was saying this got blown way out of proportion, but he made a comment about after the first spring scrimmage that looked like you were thinking about Cabo or something like that.
No, I wasn't. I was mad at him. He said that.
Yeah.
He apologized to me. No, it was just just didn't have a great day. I only got about 2 or 3 drives, and that's no excuse, but just didn't have my best day. It's just what it was. Showed up the next week and got right back after it. So I feel like I've had a really good spring and made some really big strides, and that day just wasn't my best day. So
Has it been a difficult? Sorry, it hasn't been a difficult transition for you with your reps cutting to what they were previously. Now they're kind of like more reduced since you're like more of an experienced player.
Just gotta take advantage of every one of them, man. Like, I think that's it, and I think that's what it is for everybody, whether you're getting 20 reps or 2 reps. You know, that's why I encourage, you know, my quarterback room is like, you gotta take advantage of every single one of them, and you can't be upset with, you know, if you only get 2 of them and you're upset with the 2 drives that you got, or the, you know, the 2 plays that you got. You know, you got to show out on those 2 plays, and that's what it is. And you know, you don't have to go throw a touchdown on those 2 plays. You just got to go do your job. That's what quarterback is, just managing the game, and that's just kind of how the game is. You got to manage it, and you know, some stuff's out of your hands sometimes, and some stuff is in your hands. You just got to take advantage of every rep. But that's kind of been my mentality. It's just game rep every time I'm out there. I'm not out here practicing. It's game reps, and that's what it's got to be, because you know, you're getting better, you're getting worse, and that's what it is. And it's not like we're going to get ready for a game right now, so you might as well play like you're going to. So.
Just one, like, I guess in terms of Coach Allen's defense, is it interesting going against a defense that's a little new and different, kind of not knowing exactly what they're going to do?
Yeah, I love it. You know, I love it. I think that I think it's fun as a quarterback because I'm getting a new challenge. You know, I'm not having to go against the same defense for 4 years. I'm getting to show up and not know what they're doing at all. You know, it's not like I show up and I'm scouting them on day 1 of practice or whatever. Like, I just show up and I have no idea what they're running. It's just reactionary. So it's, you know, it's a fun little twist for me, and fun to, you know, see the game in a different way, and fun to go against something different. And you know, I love what they're doing on that side of the ball, and it's exciting.
I imagine it's got to help your growth a little bit too, right? To have that.
Yeah, absolutely. Just, you know, when you've played against a defense for 3 years, and you kind of see what they're going to do before they're doing it, and you're almost not cheating yourself, but you know, just you know what they're going to do. And sometimes you know what they're going to do on defense, but you know, sometimes you don't in a real game, and you know, you got disguises and different stuff. And but it's really fun. I love it. I love their energy. That's probably the biggest thing, is their different type of energy, and they've set a new standard for themselves, and that's held within the defense. And the leadership that they bring every day, it's you know, it's brought from the coaches, but it's withheld throughout the players, and it's really awesome to see on the offensive side.
I know you Will help spend time with him early in the season, going to a Clemson basketball game. How has he kind of adapted to Clemson on and off the field from your perspective?
Yeah, I think he's loving it. You know, we went on the boat on Saturday after practice, and you know, Will's a great guy. And I think that, you know, my mentality when I showed up to Clemson was, all right, none of these dudes are going to respect me because they don't know me. You know, so how am I going to, you know, gain their respect? Is just through your work ethic, through you know working really, really, really hard whenever nobody else is. And before I even talked to Will, I saw him on their Saturdays. I saw him in there lifting extra, getting there early, just for the first 2 months before spring ball even started. And I'm like, that's a dude that we need more guys like you. You know, nobody's out there with him. He's out there just grinding. In the position that I'm at, you know, I just had nothing but respect for him, because I haven't even seen him play, and I know that you're, you know, not outworking people, but you're working really, really hard, and whatever nobody else is, not whatever you have to be, not whenever it's a mandatory workout, but you're just perfecting your craft on your own, and that's really special. So, you know, whenever he showed up here, I gained a ton of respect for him, and you know, he's been balling out in the spring, so I'm glad we got him.
Anything else for Kade? All right, man. Appreciate
Awesome.
you.
Thank you, guys.